Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our superb Saturday. Let this be an amazing weekend. And today is also the full moon. So please meditate on your full moon rituals today. And the timing would be good around 1 o'clock. But any time is a good time. So do that very nicely, very easily, whether in the evening, whether in the day. The full moon is there. Mostly you should be doing it when you can see the full moon, but the real time is around 1ish. So see whenever you want to do it. All right. So time to go for our morning ritual. Let's do our Power of Dreams programming. Oh, wonderful. Welcome back, everyone. Good to see Jitendra Ji and Anita Groving. Fabulous. Amazing. So today we're going to be reading a beautiful chapter in our Refuse to Choose book about commitment. So why is it that we do what we do? Why don't we commit? What are the 6 points that make us not commit to something that we really want in our life? What makes it so difficult for us? So chapter number 4, commitment phobia. What if I sign up for the rest of my entire life to do some miserable job where I'm bored to tears and it eats up my life and wastes my best abilities? That doubt, the biggest doubt. What if getting stuck in the wrong career is like a horror movie where I've been buried and no one can hear my screams? Now, when it comes to commitment, many scanners draw the line. The horror of wasting their lives looms in front of them, and avoiding commitment itself is often the only thing a scanner will commit to do. But the stand they've taken against commitment is based on some odd misconceptions and outdated rules that rarely apply to anyone anymore. That means the scanners who avoid commitment are taking an unnecessary detour from the very thing they want, a life full of learning, exploring new fields, starting something new whenever they feel like it. Now, just a minute. You might be saying, how can anyone have a life like that? And even if it were possible, how on earth can he do it once he's made a commitment? It's easier than you think. You simply need a very fresh understanding of what commitment really means and what it doesn't. To understand commitment, let's read Juan's story. Joanne is avoiding what she believes is commitment. Any choice she'd make, she feels like it has great and irreversible consequences. But I can't choose any career. What if I pick that second best? And what if I change my mind, which I absolutely know I'll do? See, my problem is that I want to be a psychologist, a composer, a writer, a teacher, a world traveler, and a painter. But every time I begin to walk down one of those paths, sooner or later, I get this horrible thought. Am I sure this is what I want to do for the rest of my life? And that's the end of it. And the worst part about making a mistake, I asked, oh my God, she said with horror. Where do I start? First, it takes years and money and training to go into something new. And if you find out it's wrong, you're stuck. I've already done more than once. I can't stand to it again. I remember so well the feeling of boredom and the realization that if I stayed, I'd be bored for the rest of my life. Well, if it was all true, I could hardly blame you. Forget the rest of my life. I wouldn't want to do something for a week if it bored me. But you made a lot of assumptions here that I don't think are true. Like what? She asked. The commitment phobes list of mistaken assumptions. So, all of us who are commitment phobic have a list of mistaken assumptions. We assume too much too soon. We think too much. So, we've been given a brain which thinks so much all the time, any which ways. बिना एजेंडा के भी हम सोच रहे हैं, राइट? लेकिन यहाँ हम क्या सोच रहे हैं? पहली बात तो we must choose only one path in life. Now that's the biggest problem with all of us. There's nothing called just do it one. Number two, everything you love has to be a career. Doing something for pleasure doesn't count. And that's also a biggest misnomer. It doesn't matter if it isn't giving you money, if it isn't giving you, that financial stability. As long as you're doing something which is for fun, which is for your growth, which you love, it's great. Third, if you're not in love with your job, it will be a living hell. So this is again a misnomer. Number four, if you have to get it right, because every career requires a huge investment of time and money. And this is something again a myth. There are many careers that don't require any investment. And of course, time is used, but it's not like you're really judiciously using your time. And money, many things can start without money also. It's not like you always have to, start with money. Number five, once you make your choice, you serve a life sentence with no chance of parole. So of course we have the option to always get out. But if we think we don't, that's a problem. Number six, if you're not passionate to the point of obsession, you'll never be content to give up all your other interests. जुनून की नहीं है तो कैसे करेंगे? It doesn't matter. These mistaken assumptions add up to a contract signed in blood and carved in stone, inspired only by misinformation, but by a dread of wasting one's life, and by the desire for a single passion so great it can make a life sentence tolerable. No wonder scanners refuse to make commitments. But there's one problem with their conclusion. Not one thing on that list is true. Let's look at each of them one by one. So now these 6 lists are going to come up with little detail. So all of us who have doubts can go through them and understand a little bit more. The first mistaken assumption was that we must choose one path for our entire life. Well, for one thing, scanners can't choose one path, and that's all there is to it. But more to the point, almost nobody else chooses only one path for an entire lifetime either. Look around you and what you see. Almost no one stays at one career forever anymore. All those notions belong to a time that disappeared long ago. More and more lawyers and teachers, the mainstays of career commitment, become dissatisfied every year. And many of them are looking for new careers as we speak. My daughter has to decide on her major and she's having a terrible time choosing what she wants to do for the rest of her life. A concerned mother wrote to me recently about this. All I could think was, oh my, what have you been teaching your daughter? Eve, what a massive burden for anyone to carry, an imaginary one at that. Even the most successful people can be certain of changing career directions several times in their lives. So how many of you have changed your careers? Like I can say I've changed my career twice already. I'm 43 and I've already changed my career twice. So it's not like what you start, you have to continue. 21 years, I had successful business and I was just done with it. It didn't interest me anymore. And I switched. I'm telling you I'll again switch because I'm not very happy where I am, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing. It's already in autopilot. So now that boredom is set in because it's doing so well, fabulous for itself, there's no zing, there's no spark for me to make it grow more and more and more. So I know I will be switching very soon. Even this coaching is, you can say, a career of mine in a way. In the morning, I'm investing my time, energy, and money. So you can say that. I mean, I'm not. It's not that everything has to give you financial return. It gives you mental return, and that's more important. Number two, Richa, you also swapped your career. Great. Mistaken assumption number two. Everything you love has to be a career. Doing something for pleasure doesn't count. So someone on my bulletin board wrote, I love bodybuilding, but I love doing research too on almost anything. Is there a way to combine them? Can I become the Conan the librarian, making me burst laughing? Many clients, though not as funny, had the same concerns. I'll never find a career that allows me to renovate houses, work on motor engines, be a poet, design computer games, and write screenplays. No, I don't imagine you will. But why does everything you love have to be a career? You mean just do them for the fun of it? Is that as illegal as you make it sound? But how do you pay the rent? Pick the one that makes a living and doesn't take up too much time and do rest on your own time. He thought for a moment, that's a good idea, but then everything else would just be a hobby. I'm very serious about everything I love. So hobbies are great. Pursue them. You never know when they become a career. At least give them the benefit of doubt. At least enjoy what you do, what you love. If it's not working for you, maybe take a pause at times. Leonardo da Vinci seems to have been serious about everything he loved too. Pretty much the only thing he was paid was painting until he was in his 60s. I'm sure he was never paid for designing his airplane or submarine. Does that make them just hobbies? He was thoughtful. No, but what does it make them? It's a question I'm sure Leonardo never gave a moment's thought. Maybe we should all follow his lead on that one. So please, if you have passion for something, start. Don't think so much. How I began the teaching of magic book on September 5th, 2020, I have no idea. It just came up and I just said, let's do it. And then I never paused at it. And now that I've paused in the evening batch, it's never putting on and on. I'm not judging myself. It's okay to flow. It's okay to just go where life takes you. So take the guts and just do it, honor it. Number three, every career has to be what you love or it's a living hell. Now, if we are scanners, we might not be interested in any profession unless it's loaded with variety. If I go to med school to become a doctor and our motivation is money, you're likely to be disappointed. In fact, you might get disappointed even if you start practicing medicine, judging from the many doctors who stop practicing today's managed care environment, which doesn't seem to allow them to practice medicine the way they had hoped. But if you're in love with the idea of being a doctor or a lawyer, you should do it anyways. Why? Because if you're creative, you'll find a way to use a profession one way or another. Doctors become politicians, lawyers become writers, or work in the theater with actors and directors, and are often sought after as business partners. I know accountants with lives and any scanner would envy. My friend Eddie works for 3 or 4 months a year and goes on international bike trips, on scuba diving expeditions, or to photography school the rest of his time. A Canadian accountant fulfills a secret dream of becoming a cowboy after finding out that ranchers needed accountants just like any other business owners. He now spends most of his time on the prairies of Canada, rounding up cattle with other cowboys. He works in ranchers' books in the evenings. Teachers become public speakers and go on to the lucrative lecture circuit, often as motivational speakers. And I know a psychologist who has fulfilled her dream. She works with the National Football League counseling the players. So who told us that our passion, what we love can't be converted into a profession later in life? At least start to kind of give the benefit of doubt. Who says that everything is all about money? Yes, money is important, but there are other forms of getting money as well. You could live a life where you have passive income coming if you've planned very well and you're doing something which you love very well throughout the day, which gives you happiness. So isn't that a better deal than doing something which is monotonous, rugged, and you're not even doing it? So please see what you love. Please see a day scanner notebook in this particular journey and see what all have you written down. And think of them. What can I do to make this as my chosen field? Assumption number 4. Any career we choose requires a huge investment of time and money. Back to that money. Now, if all of us assume that's true, let's think of all the people we knew in high school and college. Now, how many people do we think who graduated from college and went on to do what they studied? And that's something you can look around. There'll be so many engineers who aren't pursuing what stream of engineering they've done. So many people that what they've educated them, they're not doing that. I'm a graphic designer, but I'm no longer doing graphics. So many people make the flip. Now think of all the interesting careers you've seen people in and ask yourselves how many of them actually trained for that career. I think you'll find that many people fall into a job and turn it into a career through a series of unexpected events. It's not wise to invest in training for a career before you know these things. First thing we must ask ourselves, what kind of work will we actually do? Is training really required? So it's very important to understand that all of us are in the right place at the right time. And we don't have to always be majoring into some particular field and making that a profession. People usually sign up for school before they know the answers why. Although it's difficult to choose when you have other obligations, costly to go to school, many people choose this path because it's so clear and simple. For a certain number of years, all they have to do is what's required. And the feeling of being in rehearsal seems to lower stress too. But if we can wake up with an awful hangover, try doing informational interviews, and even better, if it's possible, do some volunteering or intern work in the actual workplace you're contemplating. You might save yourself a lot of time and money that way. These days, courses have come up. Before you pick up the actual course, you can have a idea. It's like a crash course, summer course. Oh, am I interested in this or not? Like my daughter did a course with Parsons, New York, and she got to know that this is others are not designing fields, only industrial design is a field. So it's rather than studying for 4 years and then realizing, oh my God, I chose the wrong stream. And why do you think in America, you can switch your profession, what you're studying even later in life, because you're like, it's not working for me. There's always an option. Mistaken assumption number 5. Any career we choose is a life sentence with no chance of parole. Now, this assumption too could use a reality check. You've probably learned it from someone who in the 50s, 60s, or worked for a company like IBM that tried longer than any other corporations to take care of the employees from cradle to grave. They don't do this anymore. You might want to look around people 50 years old or younger and check out how long they've been at their latest career. The truth is you can't find a job that's a life sentence anymore. And even if you're looking for one, what about lawyers, doctors, financiers, that sort of thing? Well, I've already mentioned how often they lead their chosen professions, but even then, those who stay make up a very small percentage of all employed people. Many people, scanners or not, find it best to carry the skills with them like a plumber carries his tools. Others simply step forward to help, no matter what their position is, on they're recognized and given completely different jobs than they ever trained for. Often there are jobs that don't offer any training but hands-on experience, sort of like planned or accidental apprenticeships. So in life, a lot of opportunity come our way. What are we grabbing? Where are we rolling depends completely upon us. If you start looking at people around us, किसमें क्या पढ़ाई करी, क्या job कर रहे हैं, क्या profession में है, very rarely they match, very rarely, and that's okay. People who do generic studies like business studies and then they're into businesses, that's different. I'm talking about real majoring into something. A mistaken assumption number 6. If you can't find something you're wildly passionate about, you can never be content with one job. The myth is created by scanners, I'm sure of it, who often bemoan the fact that they've never found one position so great it would make them forget everything else they love. And that's very, very hyped up. Oh, I love what I do and I can't go beyond this and it's amazing. Kya khayali pulao hai, right? Hoga, it'll happen. But only if you stop running after that particular line. You start feeling that you love something. You start going after what you love, and then that becoming your profession will give you that feeling. So this might keep thinking, I keep waiting for this deep voice to call down from heaven and tell me what I should do. Again, this deep voice will never come from outside. It is an inward journey. That voice isn't coming. There's no one passion so great that a scanner can happily limit himself or herself to it. I don't have a deep voice and I'm not calling down from heavens, but I can tell you exactly what to do if you're a scanner. Do everything that interests you. Karo to say you're interested. Karo to say you may get uninterested in something. And then you know, okay, this doesn't work for me. I thought it works for me, but it doesn't work for me. Some people get completely wrapped up into something focused and intense, happily involved. Can't scanners have that? Of course they can. In fact, scanners become more deeply involved with their interests than most other people. If you're a scanner, you felt that way a dozen times. What you might not understand is that every one of those passions was legitimate and right. But if you've been looking for is an all-encompassing passion that lasts forever, and that's where I want you to do something fresh thinking. Just take passion, turn it over a few times to see that this concept of yours is actually made of. Because coming from a scanner, the word passion always concerns me. I've never found anything I'd sacrifice for. I've never heard the voice of God telling me what to do, seen fireworks, or had the feeling that I've come and I've got to stop searching. The scanner told me. Don't you enjoy the things you're trying? Well, yes, I do. A lot, actually. But none of them turns out to be right. Now, if you're ever supposed to think the same thought again and again and again, maybe you're trying out, it isn't supposed to be right. Maybe that fear is there. Is this right? Is this right? Is this right? That's probing you, that's nudging you. And that's like, nah, it's not working for me. Now, maybe learning about the new environments is what makes us happy, what's right for us. So most scanners miss that point and don't realize that they are already found the right kind of life for themselves. The fly in the ointment for the scanner above was that he thought that each activity he enjoyed was supposed to be the biggest passion, the final choice, and that is running his enjoyment. How would it feel to forget about finding a big passion, enjoy the delightful fact that you can learn anything you like and your life will be filled with joy, with abundance, with excitement, with variety. He looked at me like a little boy who's been told he can ditch school and go to a movie. Can you do that? He said with a slightly guilty smile. Yes, he can, and so should you. Should, because the elusive search for one great passion can blind scanners to dozen real passions that they experience every day. Passion, a word so misunderstood. I prefer to call it interest, enthusiasm, is a gift all scanners have. It's part of their makeup. The notion that it's meant to last forever should be discarded with relief. Remember that well-known adage, be careful what you wish for and be happy you didn't get it this time. So let's break the shackles of society and thinking and conniving and planning and plotting and wondering and just thinking. You might find the perfect combination of all your interests and have a very single enjoyable career. Or you might discover what you really love is learning itself. The only true passion scanners have is a passion to use every part to exercise their curious brains, to follow anything fascinating until they found out what they wanted to know, and then to leave it. So if you're a scanner who's been commitment phobic, please listen to others carefully. Please listen to yourself carefully. So many ideas are coming, so many thoughts are coming. You're not going to find one, and you won't like it if you did. You will find many passions. You're not expected to make a commitment to follow one career or lifestyle track to the very end of your life. Your genetic mandate is to make money commitment and enjoy each one of your full capacity. One path will never be enough for you. So very, very important for all of us to understand that all of us and our reason. So that's it for today, Rahul sir. Tomorrow we'll read some more typical courses to understand where are we leading in our life. Very important for us to understand that we have been in the right place at the right time. And if we start believing that now, a lot more variety will come up to us, a lot more learning will come up to us. But if we keep running around a mirage, a facade, or illusion, we'll not reach where it is. So whatever we like, you've written that down, start practicing one by one. See if it interests you. If it doesn't, it was probably never meant to be. It was just an illusion. So more power to us in this dreamful journey. And let's do our sun salutations. Thank you, Rahul sir.
The Surya Namaskar with mantras. Om Mitraye Namaha. Om Ravaye Namaha. Om Suryaye Namaha. Om Bhanave Namaha. Om Khagaye Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Hiranyagarbhaye Namaha. Om Marichaye Namaha. Om Adityaye Namaha. Om Savitre Namaha. Om Arkaye Namaha. Om Bhaskaraye Namaha. Salutations to the universal friend. Salutations to the resplendent sun. Salutations to the energy that induces activity within us. Salutations to the one who illumines. Salutations to the sun moving across the sky. Salutations to the giver of strength. Salutations to the golden cosmic self. Salutations to the Lord of the dawn. Salutations to the son of Aditi, the cosmic mother. Salutations to the benevolent mother. Salutations to the energy that we praise, and to the one who guides us to salvation. The sun salutation now with the names of the postures, both in Sanskrit and English. Pranamasana, Hastuttanasana, Madhahastasana, left leg back, Ashvasanchalanasana, Parvatasana, and hold this position, and now slowly progressing into the deeper version of Parvatasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Ashtang Namaskar, Bhujangasana, Parvatasana, left forward Ashvasanchalanasana, Padahastasana, Hastuttanasana, Pranamasana. On the right side, prayer position, raised arms pose, hand to feet pose, right leg back, equestrian pose, mountain pose, hold mountain pose, and slowly moving into the deeper version of mountain, the downward facing dog. Salute with 8 limbs, cobra, press back to mountain, right forward equestrian pose, hand to feet pose, raised arms position, prayer pose. One round of the sun salutation with awareness on the breathing. So exhaling our hands to the chest, pranam. Inhaling as we bend back. We exhale as we fold forward. Left leg back, inhale as we're arching back. Exhale into the forward. Hold the breath for knees, chest, chin. Inhale as we arch back. Exhale into the forward. Left leg forward, inhale. This is a back bend. Exhale whenever we bend forward. Inhale as we bend back. Exhale, hands to the chest. And on the right, deep breathing. Exhale. A deep inhale. A long exhale. Right leg back with an inhale. And exhale. Hold the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Right leg forward with a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
Okay, today we're going to study about creative visualization, 2 chapters. They're kind of linked. One is about creative visualization in groups, and one is about creative visualization in relationships. We've already been speaking as a kind of a summary also what we've done of this particular section. So let's understand this and kind of have a review. So creative visualization groups. Many of the techniques that I provide in this book can be easily adapted for using groups. Creative visualization is wonderful, especially good when used by a group, because a group energy automatically gives it a lot of power. Each person's energy tends to support others, and in this case, the whole becomes more than the sum of its parts. No matter what the group you're involved in, whether it is your family or a group of friends, a group work group, a social action group, a church or spiritual group, or a workshop of class. You may find that creative visualization provides you with tools for achieving your group's goals or just for tuning into each other in a deeper way. Here are some of the ways you can use creative visualization in a group. Singing and chanting. Now, when you're part of groups which are learning, growing, singing together, chanting together, the vibe of the tribe becomes so beautiful that it's just elevating you. So choose songs or chants that express a feeling, an idea, an attitude that you want to create or cultivate in yourselves and in the world. Music is very powerful in affecting change. Number 2, meditating and imaging. Choose a goal or image and have everyone sit in silent meditation, visualizing and affirming it together. You may be amazed at the results. For example, a family has a goal going for a holiday and earning this much of money and having a lifestyle like this. Now, the husband, the wife, and the children sit down together, hold hands, and they're silent and they're visualizing the same dream with their own imagination and affirming it together. That wow, this is coming true. We are here. This is happening. This is happening. This is happening. You'll be surprised to know that how wonderfully the entire goal of the image is coming true very, very beautifully in your life. These are called group goals. Now, treasure mapping. Now, all of you, each person creates his own treasure map for a group goal, or as a group can create one treasure map together. So what happens if we appoint a person to make a treasure map and we have our own individual treasure maps, and yet you're giving the same energy to the final result, it's going to come true. With all energies are going to make it come true. Affirmations. When you do affirmations in partners, as I described in the section on how to use affirmations or have the whole group speak affirmations aloud together, it is magical. And we should one day do this together. Maybe we should put all of us on unmute and read the same affirmations again and again for each one of us in the group, and then see the power. It's also a meditation by Louis Hay, where it's called the affirmation bath. It's very, 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 very important and done together. We'll probably try it. Healing. Healing in groups is a wonderful experience. See the section on healing meditations. So we've done that before also, and we should do that otherwise. As a group, if you heal somebody, for example, somebody's unwell in your family, or all of you come together with other members and you heal that person, you see the exponential healing of the person. It's going to be absolutely next level. Then we come to this amazing part of creative visualization and relationships. Now, relationships are the most important, earning or most important takeaway from our life. If we don't have a relationship, how will we thrive? If we have no relationship with ourselves, how will we thrive? I don't love myself enough. I don't respect myself enough, and I want the world to do it. How will it happen if I don't have the same virtues, same feelings for myself? Now, relationship with myself and others is as important. It's not like I am less important or the other is more important. Problem with us is we have been trained in a way of thinking that, it's good to invest in others. It's not good to be selfish. But it's very important to understand that selfishness is important when it comes to self love, because until you fall in love with yourself in your life, you can't give that same love to anybody else in your life. So, one of the most valuable ways we can create and use creative visualization is in improving our relationships, because human beings are so sensitive to each other in so many ways. We are especially susceptible and receptive to the thought forms that we hold about each other. What are these thought forms? That we have images. Oh, he's very divine. Oh, she is very this. Oh, that person's corny. Oh, that person is like, show off. Or this person is a very, shallow person. And this person, very heightened person. These are our thought forms. And we are so judgy. We are so sensitive to who says at what level. They stay in our minds, especially something which is not done in the right way that we think is negative. It just stays on. Isne mujhe kaha tha na, I will get back to him. Or, I don't like him because he said this. We're judgy. It is these thought forms and the underlying attitudes that reflect which form our relationship has, and it causes them to work or not work. Sometimes preconditioning your mind. Suppose if I'm today going to meet Akshay and I don't know him from heavens on earth, I don't know him at all. And then Meenakshi says, oh, Prachi, he's like this. So I have made a notion, unless and until I go like a blank slate and say, let me see for myself how he is, and I'm not going to be, take your judgment with me. Tabhi bhi, even if I do that, kahin na kahin, what she has told me about him will work on me because I'm a human being and I'm sensitive. Let's realize in a relationship, as in everything else, we're exactly what we believe, we expect, and we ask for on our deepest levels. You may think about it कि नहीं मैं तो मांगा ही नहीं अपने आप मिल रहा है, कहीं ना कहीं subconsciously आपने मांगा है, आया आपने believe किया कि ऐसा होगा, expectation है कहीं ना कहीं, and that belief has given you what you are getting to see. You have asked for it. बिना मांगे कुछ नहीं मिलता. The people we are in relationships with are always a mirror of who we are, reflecting our own inner beliefs. Simultaneously, we're mirrors reflecting their beliefs. The best thing to analyze yourself is, what are you seeing in others? कभी सेल्फ एनालिसिस करना हो, दूसरों में मुझे क्या दिख रहा है, वो मेरे अंदर मिसिंग है, बिकॉज मुझे उसके ऊपर वर्क करना है. जो मुझे दिख रहा है मतलब वो मेरे अंदर, और कई बार मुझे कुछ दिख रहा है अच्छा है, तो दैट मीन्स मुझे उसको हाइटन करना है. We are always people in progress. The minute we stop progressing, we become static and we can't grow anymore. So relationship with another human being is one of the most powerful tools for growth that we have. Only if we look honestly at our relationships, we can see so much about how we have created them. The best part is every experience we are creating, it's not something which is happening to us. It's we who are making it happen to us. Our vibes, whatever we're resonating them, are reflected back. Now, if we take an attitude of total responsibility about a relationship, imagine the power you're giving it. Now, 90% of us are conditional into thinking कि नहीं वो ऐसे करता है इसलिए मैं नहीं कर पाती, या वो ऐसे करती है इसलिए मैं नहीं कर पाता, वो ऐसे करेगा तो मेरे साथ हो जाएगा, वो ऐसे करेगी तो हो जाएगा, उसको करना पड़ेगा तो ये ऐसा हो. Wrong. आप पहले करोगी तो आपके साथ होगा. Now let's assume for a moment that we are all alone and responsible for creating life the way it is happening to us. No matter how much it may look to us that the other person is responsible for certain things. If there are certain things about the relationship that are unsatisfying to you, ask yourself why and how you have created it that way. Keep in mind, however, that taking responsibility for your life does not mean that you are to blame for the problems in your life or relationship. See if you can't discover what core beliefs you had that cause you to create a less than satisfying, happy, loving relationship. Very important to go inwards and ask yourself questions where you're not happy. Why does my dad behave like this when he does, when I don't attract it? Of course you're attracted. You want that because there's something which is there. What is that something? That's a payoff. What is that payoff? Why will I want my dad to be rude to me or not say the right things or be nasty? Why? But yes, I want it because there is something in my mind which is asking for it. So it's very important to ask yourself, what is the payoff for you in keeping yourself in an unhappy space? There's always a payoff everything we do. Otherwise, we won't do it. So if you're not doing anything in life and you're just whiling away time, ask yourself, what am I getting out of not doing anything and whiling away time? Problem is we don't go deep within us to reflect. If I have a medical problem, I have to ask myself, why have I created this condition? Can I let it go? And today is a beautiful day to let it go because today is a day of full moon. So please, whatever you truly desire or you don't desire, today is a time to eliminate it from your life in the process of surrendering. Now, if we truly desire to have a deep, fulfilling, happy relationship in our life, and we believe that it's possible for us, and we're willing to accept that happiness and satisfaction, then we can create relationships that work for us. Like I've always quoted this, I'm going to quote this again. When I grew up, I saw my mom having the most amazing relationship with her co-sisters and her sister-in-laws. Similar with my grandmother, she had the most amazing relationship with her. I never heard this sister-in-law rivalry or whatever, and co-sister rivalry, never ever heard it. So in my mind, I always knew that everything's going to be great. And that's how it was, because that's what I saw, that's what I believed in, that became possible for me. So when I look around people and I see that they're having issues, I just see them very platonically. I don't judge them. Why are they saying so? It's okay, it's that reflection. Because if I start saying, why are they saying so, I'm going to be attracting those vibes into my relationships. So very important to detach yourself from the outer world. And at times, if it gets too overbearing, just walk away and just say, I'm going to come back. I'll join you soon. I do that when in my own family, when they meet up, and every girl and every boy and everyone has a problem with somebody and they're talking about it. I'm like, so they're like, you join us. I said, no, I'm going to come when I want. So I go very rarely, but then I know when to detach, right? I don't want to be in a commitment with them. No monthly goals. There's something that will help all of us in our relationships. Let's go on them point by point. Let's look at our goals in the relationship. Now, this relationship could be with your colleague. This relationship could be with the staff. It could be with your boss. It could be with your child, your parents, your spouse, your partner, whoever, wherever. What do you truly want out of this relationship? Consider all levels. All levels which are going to be including every part of our being, which are by law divided into 4 parts. The one is a physical aspect. What do you want? Emotional aspect, mental aspect, spiritual aspect. Physically also, if you're looking at people who are fit, you're attracting those vibes to yourself. If you're looking at some fat, you're attracting those vibes to yourself. Emotionally, if you're finding something challenging, you're attracting those to yourself. You're finding satisfaction, that's what you're attracting. Mentally, mental strength. Are you looking at that, or weakness, depression? What are you looking at? What are you resonating? Spiritually, are you going inwards? Spiritually is just going about inwards. Yes, we reach out to beautiful books, self-help books, and to people, but it's all about tuning inwards. The bandwidth has to go inward. Now let's write down an ideal scene and do a treasure map that expresses our perfect visualization of the relationship, whatever that may be, and see the world shift. Number 2, take a good look at what beliefs and attitudes you're keeping, which are keeping you from creating what you want. We can use a clearing process to help us get in touch with our limiting attitudes. For example, we can write, the reason I can't have a satisfying relationship with Mr. or Miss XYZ is this. Or the reason I can't have what I want in the relationship is this. then please honestly go inward and ask whatever feelings you're coming up, please write them down behind your affirmation. And then see what can you do to change it. And even if 10 affirmations are coming, that okay, let's go back to simple. I'm a giver and I deserve receiving. Simple stuff that you resonate. Okay, this is what I believe in. Work on clearing. क्या रुकावटें हैं? क्या problems हैं? क्या roadblocks हैं? How can I overcome them? Number 3, use affirmations and visual imagery to change your negative beliefs and to start visualizing and creating loving, fulfilling relationships. Very important. We've seen the power of affirmations. We've seen the power of creative visualization. So visual imagery is important. Suppose if you're having a relationship where you're just at each other's neck, for example, you can always see that you guys are bonding and shaking heads and laughing and having great time and having a good meal and having a good walk or something. And that way you're going to attract those vibes. The resistance will fade away very slowly. So gradually that you will probably not be able to see initially that the resistance is fading. But after a while, you can see remarkable change because you are creatively visualizing, because you're affirming. That's why I say intertwine your morning manifestations with whatever you want. Every day, hear it. My husband and I, we were in our own world, a professional worlds, trying to balance home and family. And we could, but there was a distance between our older one and us, even the younger one and us. And since a year, every single day, Prashant recorded his affirmations, his manifestation, his visual image, and every day he listens to it for 20 minutes in the morning. And now the shift we see in the attitude of children is unbelievable. So yeah, we all make mistakes, and that's what we're all here for. But to work on our mistakes and make them into our advantages is depending upon us. So please don't use this opportunity. You've come in the morning sessions, and this takeaway should be for your life. I'm not going to tell you to enroll again. I don't even know if I'm having them again. But if you learn these small little takeaways, this is what you can recreate something in your life. It's going to be so amazing. Even with your body. Why have I created this problem in my body? Some people get acid reflux or whatever they get. Why? What is the need? Clear out with an affirmation. Clear out. Number 4. Use visualization to improve a difficult relationship. Let's say, for example, we have difficulty getting along with someone and we would like to create a very harmonious relationship with that person. What do? After relaxing into a deep, quiet, meditative state of mind, which is, well, what is this? How do you do that? Quickly, someone tell me, how do I relax into a deep, quiet, meditative state of mind? How do I meditate? How do I get into the state of mind? Yes, thank you, Akshay. I think you're the scholar of our batch. So after relaxing into a deep, quiet, meditative state of mind by taking deep breaths in, minimum 3, maximum however you think you're taking. The deeper the breath you take in, the little you hold, and the deep and longer you take to exhale out, you are going to get into meditative state of mind. If I'm taking breaths like breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, I will not make a different breath. If I take a deep breath in, my body is relaxing, and then I hold, and then I let a deep breath out. And the best way to check yourself, whether you're taking a deep breath in or not, is to observe your navel, your stomach. Is it expanding like a balloon and deflating like a balloon? Andar pe chakra hai ki nahi? When I say exhale, the stomach should actually go inward. You probably remember Ramdev Baba, how his stomach goes inside, it chip goes. That is the way you're supposed to take a deep breath to actually become quiet, meditative, centered, balanced, aligned. Now, after we've relaxed, the next step is imagining the two of us relating, communicating in an open, honest, effective way. And I would say this to every spouse, please do that. Our counterparts come to us with a purpose. If we can't be open, if we can't be honest, if we can't be effective, if we can't be non-judgmental, if we can't speak our heart out, knowing that we're not being judged, then what's the point of a marriage? It's not just for society, it's for us to have your Your spouse as your best friend is the best thing you can work on. And it takes time. It takes time. I've been 21 years into a relationship with him, but it's still taking time. We've reached a very beautiful platform of like being in love with each other madly, but the best friendship still hasn't come, and it will come because it's beginning to come. But we need to invest into it. Initially, we think, oh, if I say so, उसको तो वो पकड़ के बोलेगी कि मैं तो ऐसा ही हूँ, because मैंने agree कर दिया, which means she's using what I've said again and again. So why not should I imagine that if I tell her something, she would be always nice to me? So imagine saying to this person anything you need to communicate in order to clear things up between you. And again, I would say this is a tried and tested mantra. Don't sleep with any gira shikwas. Please clear it out in the night. Hug and sleep, no matter how terribly you've fought. Ultimately, you will let go, right? So right now in the night, just start hugging and just think tomorrow we'll talk about it. But right now it's time for a good night hug. So many people don't wake up in the morning, guys. Young people. So many young people I know, especially celebrity world, they just don't wake up in the morning. So please don't waste your time. Imagine the person is listening to you and hearing you and saying anything he or she needs to say to you when you are listening in return. And please invest into being silent and listening. Same word spelled backwards, silent and listen have the same number of alphabets, same alphabets. Please learn to listen. Please learn to go silent. When I say listen, which means even the inner chatter which is going on, which people can't hear, has to go quiet. So even when you want to listen, take a deep breath in, because you want to center, balance, align, to give your partner that thing that I'm listening to you, babes, or I'm listening to you, dear guy, I'm here for you. So we need to imagine the person listening and hearing us and saying something that they want to do and listen, right? Okay, let's turn the page, sir. I've read this. Now repeat this exercise whenever needed. If you're sincere in your desire and your intention is sankalp and you're truly open to change, you will soon find the relationship is becoming easier and more flowing, and the other person seems to become more agreeable and easy to communicate with. Now, this could happen because of anything. Because you had an intention, both of you may join some course, both of you may join some yoga, vipassana, some form of meditation, something somewhere, a couple goals, and you'll realize, yeah, we agree. And that's why I always say when you join a class, it's nice to do as a couple because both of you know where you're agreeing and listening and holding and moving on. When Prashant and I did the second batch together, there was exponential difference in the way we were. Of course, he being he, very sincere, everything's continuing as is. So yes, we are in reality check. Otherwise, it tends to fade away. Remember, good things also tend to go away if they're not practiced. So practicing is an important thing. While the course is going on, you're like, oh yeah, everything's going great. What about the practice? One of my dear friends, Shweta, we began this journey together. Every day, come hail or storm, she's writing a gratitude. That centers, balance, aligns us. Never should a day be gone without us writing a gratitude. The day we lose it, we lose our life's focus. Eventually, you'll find that problem is resolving itself in one way or another, and the benefit to all parties concerned is going to be exponential. This resolution may involve an actual communication with the person, or it may not, doesn't matter. आपकी मंशा है, intention है, संकल्प है, बहुत important है. Number 5. The technique of saying affirmations to each other can often help us to improve our relationships dramatically. Of course, it's very important to communicate with each other honestly from your true feelings about what you like and don't like and what you want and you don't want. But instead of continuously explaining, complaining, you haven't done this, you haven't done that, this is a shortcoming and this is your weakness, and trying to agree and to affirm on each other that you are improving and making progress in your growth and development is very, very, very imperative. I am who I am with my shortcomings, but I'm becoming a better person, and so it is. Once I say that and I accept that and I move on, I'm adding more power to myself. So instead of saying, George, why do you always interrupt me when I'm saying something? You might agree to say, George, at appropriate moments, I appreciate the way you're becoming a good listener. Or simply, when you're late for an appointment, hey, I'm so sorry, I was running late. Rather than that, you can just say, I'm so grateful to you that you're waiting for me. Change your language as an affirmation language. It takes effort because we're not used to it, but once you make that effort, you're going to become much better. In this way, you only remind George in a friendly way to be a better listener. but you also begin to change your image of George as well as George's image of yourself or himself. Why? Because we're creatively visualizing. Now, in ongoing relationships, all too often we have gotten stuck in certain roles, images with each other, which we find it difficult to change. Yeah. अभी भर धारणा बन गई, पर्सपेक्टिव बन गया, सालों से बन गया, कैसे बदलेंगे? लोग बोलते हैं आदमी की फितरत नहीं में होता नहीं है बदलना, एक बार जैसा है वैसा है. These conditions have come in. Now, haven't we all changed? If we're honest about ourselves, even the 90 100 days we studied together, and for some of us from 12th of January we started together, haven't we changed? If we have changed, why can't other people change? Why not give them the benefit of doubt? We find this very limiting and confining when we put ourselves into certain boxes, certain labels on us. I'm short-tempered, I'm this, I'm that, I can't do this, oh, I'm less focused. Why do we say that? Why are we labeling ourselves? You want to put a label? Go put a label. Oh, I'm becoming a better version of myself every day. I'm better than better. I'm becoming best. I'm limitless. I'm bountiful. Why can't we say that? So if we put limiting labels, we confine ourselves into a world and we don't know how to step out. So simply open the doors of the cages and be ready to take that leap of flight. Just fly high. Creative visualization provides us with a wonderful tool for expanding our roles and our stereotypes. Let's begin to visualize and affirm new images for ourselves and for the right person. See the potential for positive change within every person and every situation. And give the right energy and support to that positive change through creative visualization. And let this be constant. ये नहीं कि आपने अपने बच्चों को आज बोल दिया कि अरे वाह, she's a lovely girl or lovely boy and they're doing so well. बेटा you're so amazing and कल तुमने कमरा नहीं साफ किया, तुम तो कर ही नहीं सकते हो. So don't flip like that. Be constant in your appreciation. And you can always say, hey dear, your room is, I think you could probably do your room in a little better way. It'll look neater and uncluttered. Maybe say in a positive way, yeah. And whenever you have time, no rush. I was just thinking that maybe your energy would change when you have your room uncluttered or decluttered, whatever. Let's learn to talk in affirmation. Let's turn to be the positive harbingers of change, people who are always there talking positively. Let's be the people when we walk into a room, just, the vibes light up and oh my God, such positive energies come. And believe me, we can all become those people. It's just about working on ourselves. That's all. Constant. Time is the only constant. Let time be by your side by constantly working on yourself. Let's always be a seeker, always be a person who's learning. Never say I'm enough. Remember, however, that human relationships are very complex. Our relationships perfectly reflect our own inner process. They are wonderfully effective mirrors to help us in the next step of our growth. So if a relationship is difficult to persist, it's a message for us that a deeper level of our own healing is needed. I strongly recommend getting support from a good therapist or counselor. You can help see what the problem in a relationship is trying to teach us. कभी मुश्किल लगे ना कि नहीं समझ में आ रहा, go deep within. Ask a friend. Just see somebody who, I'm sure you know people who are positive. Ask them to be a reality check. Thank you, Rahul sir. Tomorrow we'll start a new section, creative visualization. The last section number 5. Yesterday we finished the meditation section. Today we finished the section number 4. Tomorrow section number 5. And I'm telling you, this book is like the miracle book. Take this in your life. If you just do this book, mirror work and magic is sorted for life, trust me, these are such exponentially powerful books. Now let's read a chapter on Rod Judkins' book about how we can all creatively think and how we are born with it. Values, shared values. Robert Zimmerman felt cut off from the world. He was born in a small town of Hibbing in Minnesota. It was the middle of nowhere. It was dominated by the largest open pit iron mine in the world. No one there shared Zimmerman's interest in music, literature, or art. No one really understood him. He was operating in isolation. He knew he had to get out and find some creative people, so he moved to New York. He was brimming with creative people, with entrepreneurs, with artists, writers, musicians, It was culture central, a focal point for new exciting ideas. Now in New York, his contemporaries fed him influences, shared discoveries, opened up the world to him, not just in music, but in art and poetry. They shared new guitar chords and introduced him to the work of advantage. Akshay, please take over.
They shared new guitar chords and introduced him to the work of avant-garde poets, which influenced his lyrics. He changed his name to Bob Dylan, which symbolized his rebirth. The atmosphere drove Dylan to explore the boundaries of his talents. He felt more like himself than he never had before. A new friend introduced Dylan to the music of Woody Guthrie. The encounter was a revelation for Dylan and showed him a way forward, making him realize that folk music could be a vehicle to communicate the thoughts and ideas that mattered most to him. He was able to create something honest and worthy. He went on to change the way the world perceived singers. Before Dylan, great singers had to have traditional singing skills. He single-handedly ushered in the singer-songwriter era. Suddenly, what you sang about mattered more than how you sang it. If it wasn't for Sergei Rachmaninoff's friends, he would have given up early in his career. His powerful Symphony No. 1 was hated by both critics and the public when it was first performed and was immediately deemed a failure. The experience had a terrible effect on the young composer, utterly destroying his confidence. Rachmaninoff completely lost the urge to compose and wrote nothing for the next 3 years. His friends set about nursing his fragile confidence back to full fitness. They loved his work and wanted to hear more. His desire to write music returned and he started work on his Piano Concerto No. 2. It was a success and restored the composer's confidence. But in all the years that followed, he never attempted to have his first symphony published or performed again. It was a disaster that haunted him until his death. During World War II, the original score for Symphony No. 1 was discovered by accident and performed again. This time, it was an extraordinary success and became one of the most respected compositions of the 20th century. Rachmaninoff, though, did not live to see its belated glory.
So very important for us to understand an opportunity comes once, twice. Things will come to shake us, break us, but make us. Let's not become so fragile that something comes and we just kind of completely lose it and we never attempt again. Let's know that practicing makes a man perfect. Something that hasn't worked out this time, but I believe it will work out. So it will work out. This beautiful brain that you see as a globe, the beauty about this is it can go in any direction you want. Where do you want it to stop depends upon you. So if you're stuck, you will be always stuck. But if you have a wavelength to grow and to tune into the right bandwidth, you will find that because you are a born creative thinker. And not only a creative thinker, you're a born creative implementer. The problem is with us that we have limited ourselves in our conditioning. Let's read further.
Find others who are on your wavelength and share your values. If you're a creative thinker, the chances are that you're challenging the accepted values and practices of your organization. The problem with organizations is that they don't know what they know. Expertise learned and applied in one area is not used in another. The most effective way to create a sharing culture is to start to practice it at whatever level you're at, whether you're high up or low down in an organization. You can change the culture. Bill Gates called it corporate IQ, the ability of company employees to share knowledge and build on each other's ideas. It's the boss's role to encourage this. Power comes not from knowledge kept, said Gates, but from knowledge shared. But don't sit around waiting for your boss. If your company isn't doing this already, don't wait. Start it up from them. Sharing your knowledge creates synergy. You'll get more out than you put in.
Very important to understand that knowledge must be shared. When we share our knowledge, it's going to create a synergy, it's going to create an atmosphere, a tribe of like-minded people. We don't just keep waiting around and just, oh, it'll come. The more we learn, the more we share, the more we share, the more we care, the more we care, the more we grow. Margaret Fuller says, if you have knowledge, let others light their candles in it. So, say if I have knowledge about one aspect, somebody comes and adds value, somebody comes and adds value. Look at the power of the flame, it will keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Let your knowledge banks grow, let your candles light up because you are light. So, very, very important to understand that. Tomorrow, we'll take this light journey a little more further by lighting a fire in our minds. About today, let's see what the affirmation, the heart thought for the day is. Akshay, thank you for coming in. You and Richie have been there with me in my journey when I've lost my throat a couple of times, and I'm pretty okay with it. Thank you so much for being my angels. When it comes to heart thoughts, these heart thoughts come to us every day with a reason. How deep are we going in it? How understanding are we finding it? Today is about oneness. We can either destroy the planet or we can heal it. It is up to us individually. Let's sit down every day and send some loving, healing energy to the planet. What we do with our minds make a difference. Today, all of us will meditate on Mother Earth, okay? On our planet Earth, because this is how it's come. So let's share that energy with as a group. So very, very beautiful. And I would love this to be read. Akshay, you already are a co-host. And in fact, you will be recording the meditation as well. So please read this. Thank you.
I am spirit, light, energy, vibration, color, and love. I'm so much more than I give myself credit for. I'm connected with every person on the planet and with all of life. I see myself healthy, whole, and living in a society where it is safe for me to be who I am and to love one another. I hold this vision for myself and for all of us, for this is a time of healing and making whole. I am part of that whole. I am one with all life, and so it is.
And so it is. Very beautiful. So Akshay, today what you can save your meditation would be about oneness and about surrender. Because today is the full moon. It's also a day to surrender. It's also a day to come together. And what we will be doing in our manifestation or our surrendering is we'd all be thinking of what we want in our life. So we'll be manifesting on that. And when we manifest on that, we'll be giving everyone a lot of blessings for their wishes to manifest. Similarly, there'll come a point in our meditation where we'll be surrendering what we don't want to hold on to, what is enabling us to not become a better version of ourselves. For example, somebody could be lazy, somebody could be indecisive, could be a procrastinator. So we'll surrender all of that away, empowering ourselves only good energy, and then we'll intertwine our energy. So let's start this beautiful meditation. All right, everyone. Today is the full moon meditation in a way, a shorter version for all of us intertwined in the morning. And for those of us who haven't come, can do it in the evenings. Let's all sit down straight. Our backs absolutely straight. Our feet firmly placed on the ground below. Our hands in an open receptive mode, fully open, flat on our laps. Let's inhale and exhale. Let's inhale. Ever so gently exhale. Once more to center, balance, align ourselves. Let's take a deep breath in. And out. Life is magical. Life is oneness. Life is ask, believe, receive, and surrender. Today on this beautiful full moon, we've all come together to manifest, to add power of dreams, to wish others, and to let go of all that's holding us tight. It's also the day to surrender our so-called negative qualities in our life, which could also be read as adding love to that part so that it becomes whole and complete. Today, we'll invoke this moon's energy, the cosmic energy in our lives to make our life a beautiful, successful one. We've all come together in a circle of love. Let's see ourselves seated in a group of people, seeing the people on our left and right, whoever we wish. Let's look at the moon above, tilt our heads a bit up, with the eyes closed. Look at the beautiful, glorious full moon, shining like a beautiful moonlight ball. Let's thank this moon for making us so full of emotions. The world is all about feelings. You, dear moon, are associated with feelings, and we are all feeling beings. Today, on this beautiful full moon, I surrender my desires to you. Before that, let me look at my list that I've written down in this beautiful yellow paper with a red pen, in maybe my imaginary eyes or maybe an actual in person, whatever works for me. Let me look at each of the qualities, each of the wishes that I've had written as affirmations. I am love. I am light. I am blessed. I live an abundant life. Wherever I turn, prosperity follows. I am open and receptive to all the love and abundance from all possible universes. I speak and express very well. I'm a listener. I listen so beautifully by going silent, by taking 3 deep breaths and making myself ready to listen, by closing the clutter and the chitter chatter going on in my mind. I am a person who's evolving every single day with love and light. I am growing exponentially every single day. I believe I do have some negative vices, which I think I've labeled myself as, not realizing that these negatives are there because there's lack of love in them. So whatever I have, if I'm impatient, let me attract patience. If I'm indecisive, let me attract decision-making. If I'm a staller, procrastinator, let me invite the firmness, the belief, the conviction of doing something with full heart. If I'm lazy, let me invite the strength in me to be active. Let me be blessed with all the best virtues, dear Lord, dear moon. Let me be the channel of love. Let me be the channel of light. Let me shine my light, share my light by shining bright, bright now, bright here. Let me ignite the candle of love, the candle of light, to brighten the lives of others around me. Let me be blessed in fulfilling the wishes of so many. Let my love become unconditional. Let everyone in my group, in my Sangha right now, may their wishes come true. This beautiful energy that we are sharing right now with each other, may our wishes come true. And they are coming true right now, right here, and so it is. Now see ourselves surrendering to Mother Moon by burning our paper, with a lot of love, because we're feeling that eternal oneness with her. Oneness where each one of us is tuned into the cosmic energy, where each one of us is coming together in the hope and in the belief that whatever we wished for is coming true. May this or something highest better unfold for the highest good of all concerned. Let this be our chant, let this be our blessing, let this be our wish. We surrender to you, dear universe, with your full glory, knowing today on the sacred moon, full moon day, whatever I wish for will come true, but knowing that I can see a limited picture. You, my dear universe, are vast. You have 360-degree purview of my life. So give me what's best for me in alignment with my dreams. I know I surrender. And with this, we can all bow our heads. Thank Mother Earth for giving us a beautiful atmosphere to grow, to feel the love, to feel the light, to feel the energy, the compassion, the empathy. Let's feel us as more rooted, more grounded in within her. Let's always wish for humility, compassion, kindness, empathy. Let's always know that we're nurtured with love, we're nurtured with light. Now we can look at a life level, at an eye level without opening eyes and thank our wonderful life lessons, experiences that we've been nurtured with, enriched with. And the reason why we have so many dreams today is because of these experiences, these lessons that have made us into who we are, shaped us, carved us. Let's know in the present tense that whatever we manifest, whatever we desire comes true to us for the highest best of ourselves and others around us. So it is, and so be it. So it is. Let's look at our future tense, our future life, and know that it's magical, beautiful, wonderful, because each one of us is flowing towards love and light. Let's see our sister Gaia, our Mother Earth, evolving, elevating, going for ascension, as all human beings are embracing spirituality and the very fact that we are all full of love and light. When each one of us is evolving, we're doing Mother Earth a favor by increasing the more sentient beings on her. Dear Mother Earth Gaia, you have gone through so much of trials and tribulations. Today we have all come together to wish you the very best. On this full moon day, under this cosmic universal energy, we wish for Mother Earth's ascension. We see all humanity becoming channels of love and light, surrendering of the boundaries, the borders, the religion, caste, creed, sexism, racism, everything going out. All we see is a full channel of love and light. Everyone flowing in love, everyone flowing in right, everyone growing abundantly, from little ones to the older ones. Dear Mother Earth, we've come together for your ascension and ours. So it is, so it is, so it is. Let's open our hands towards the universe above and look up at the moon with closed eyes. Dear Mother Moon, dear universe, thank you, thank you, thank you for blessing each one of us, for making our dreams come true. In fact, for bettering our dreams and what we have asked, because you're such a giver. Whatever we ask, we get much more because we are the true believers. We ask, we believe, and we receive. I'm a channel of receiving. And with my open arms, I know I'm receiving abundantly from you right now, right here, and ever, and always. Thank you to all the divinities. Thank you to all the angels, to all the guardians. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's fold our hands together in gratitude. Express eternal gratitude for whoever, wherever, whatever. Let's be grateful for everything from heavens to earth. Let's rub our hands with the beautiful energy that's flowing in us. Let's bless our subconscious, conscious mind for reprogramming, restructuring, rekindling itself, re-empowering, re-enlivening, for unlearning and learning. Let's bless our face. Maybe see better, maybe hear better, maybe smell better, maybe speak better, maybe feel better. Our neck for always keeping us all and strong. Our shoulders for always shouldering responsibilities to the best of our vision with a lot of love and light. To our hands for always doing the right deeds. To our heart for always growing abundantly. To our lungs for always giving us a fresh breath of air. To our gut for processing, assimilating, digesting all the spiritual energy that we have and making us grow abundantly by leaps and bounds. To our legs which take our weight around, which move from one place to another. To our feet for always keeping us grounded and stable. Let's bless the backside of our legs and our hips for keeping us tall and sturdy. To our backbone for always being straight and with dignity we are moving in life. Let's bless each other. Let's know that each one of us is the channel of blessings for each one of us to bless each other in our respective journeys. Whatever you want, may your dream come true. And it is coming true, and so it is. Whatever you've asked for, something more is coming true in your life. This is my wish. You're getting much more than you've asked because you're a blessed person, because you're a channel of blessing yourself. The more you bless, the more you're blessed, the more you give, the more you get. I believe it and I receive it and I live it. Thank you to all my Sangha Mitras for joining in today for this beautiful meditation. Let's bless each other once more with our open hands, full of energy flowing out from our screens to each other. Lots of love and light. Jitendraji, Ruchi, Manish, Anita, Manisha, Akshay, Pratima ji, Vijay ji, Richa, Surinder ji, Meenakshi, Ritu, Usha ji, Kamakshi, Rahul sir, Amrita ma'am, Peena, Ankur, and to all virtual participants. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you, Akshay, for recording this. We can share with everyone today to be floated. Any questions? Today is a beautiful day. Make the most of it. Let your energy be in all-time high. Request and manifest for the right energies to come through you. When you're unclear, let the right clarity come to you. So the meditation should be named Oneness and Surrender. Yes, perfect. Perfect name. All right. Wonderful. Have a blessed day. Let's see each other tomorrow morning at 5. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.